In this video, we will look at ways to find the majority element of an array. A majority element is that element of the array that appears more than n by 2, or half times. There are many ways to find this. One simple method is to pick each element of the array one by one, and compare it with the whole array. The one that repeats more than half times is a majority element. The time complexity for this method is O of n squared. The goal of today's video is to find the majority element in linear time. This can be done using the Boyer-Moos majority vote algorithm. Before we get to that, let's look at the basic idea behind it. The different elements of the array have been represented by these colored houses. Can you see which one is the majority element? According to the algorithm, to find it we compare two consecutive elements. If they are different, we delete them. If they are same we simply move on to the next pair of elements. Let's compare the first two houses. They are different so we delete them. This will not affect the majority of the yellow houses, as a non-majority element was deleted too. This reduces the total size of array. So the number of yellow houses is still more than n by 2. Different again, so we delete them. These are of the same color so they will stay. We will delete these because they are different. We are left with a yellow house. If the array of houses had a majority element, then this is it. Now let's discuss the Boyer-Moos algorithm. There are two parts of this algorithm. First, we find a possible majority element. Let's call it the candidate. Second, once done, we verify whether our candidate really is the majority element. Let's quickly look at the code for the first part. In the beginning, we choose the first element as a candidate. We compare it to the current element, which is the ith element of the array. If they are same, we increase the count and move on to the next iteration. If they are different, the count is decreased. Decreasing the count is the same as deletion of houses that was shown in the previous example. Pause this video to look at the code, for better understanding. Once we find a candidate, we have to verify it. To do this we go over the array once, and check if the candidate repeats more than half times. Let's look at an example. First we initialize the count to 0. Then we go through the array. Since count is 0, we set the first element as a candidate element, so we increment count. In the next iteration the current element is equal to the candidate element so we increment the count. Again the current element equals the candidate element so we increment count. Now we have a different element, yellow, so we decrement count. We get a purple again so we increment count. The next element does not equal the candidate element so we decrement count. Same for the next element. Now it's again purple so we increment the count. The last element is a different element so we decrement the count. The loop ends here so we move to step 2. Purple is found to be the candidate element. Now let's verify our answer. We go through the array once and increment count every time when the current element equals the candidate element. Since the count for candidate element is greater than n by 2, this is the correct majority element. The complexity of this algorithm is n, since there are two independent for loops. That's it for the majority element algorithm. Hope everything's clear. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.